You're a mama, Jenny?
No, Mama. His name's Forrest.
Oh, it's like me. Like me?
I named him after his daddy.
You know, he has a daddy whose name is Forrest, too.
You're his daddy. Forrest, look at me. Look at me. Let me tell you something. Look. There's nothing you need to do, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. Isn't he beautiful?
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But is he smart? Or
He's very smart. He's one of the smartest in his class. Go see him. Go on, go talk to him.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
It's a nice love story.
Yeah, unusual. Doesn't happen every day. Yeah, and I think because Forrest is what he is, being a half-wit and not by society's design as the perfect man, he feels the greatest things a woman could ever want.
Do you agree he was her safe port?
Mm-hmm. And to do that so consistently, feel that so consistently, that she finally grew up to realize that what she was running to get to was right in her lap.
I love the lines in this thing. Stupid is as stupid does.
Truer words have never been spoken.
For you, what was the hardest thing about doing Forrest Gump?
It was really constructing this very pure man who is completely void of politics or editorializing or really even intellectualizing. We had to build this guy piece by piece. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations I had with Bob Zemeckis about what's Forrest going to do here. Because Forrest just doesn't understand an awful lot about how the world works, and so he can't be too knowledgeable about how the world works. Forrest Gump has his sense of right and wrong, and it has been dictated to him by his mama. And he can only operate at the speed of that common sense. So everything he goes through, everything he says, everything that he perceives, we had to figure out, well, what's he going to think of this? That was probably the most time-consuming aspect of it, is that the logic behind him had to be a very specific logic that the audience could understand, and the audience could know.
Life is a box of chocolates, Forrest. You never know what you're gonna get.
I was trying to call some friends last night, tell them that I'd seen a great movie, but I had a hard time trying to tell them what I saw. I said, this is one you just have to trust, that if you like Tom Hanks and you like Bob Zemeckis, go see it.
Well, it's hard to, you can't really quite encapsulate it. It doesn't really work to say, well, guy's on a park bench telling you about his life, and it's the most fantastic life you've ever come across. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything.
You had a moment on Forrest Gump. You're sitting there on the bench and you just thought, is anyone going to watch?
That's exactly right.
What did you say? Is anyone going to watch this? Is anyone going to care about this guy?
We had worked so hard, so much, and we were only about 40% through with the movie. We still had a ton of stuff that we had to do. We had shot 27 straight days in a row, and we were trying to shoot so much that I said, Bob, there is no way my sad little brain can learn this much dialogue. At one point, Bob is sitting there next to me, and I said, I don't know, Bob. Anybody going to care about this guy dressed up in like this kooky ice cream suit sitting on this bench? saying stuff, Is it going to cut together? Is it going to matter? Is it going to make any sense? And Bob, well, that's the thing about making movies, Tom. It's a minefield. It's just a fucking minefield. We don't know if we're sowing the seeds of our own destruction or not.
The character of Forrest and Tom's characterization of him evolved. And the one thing we didn't want to do is we just didn't want to have Tom Hanks doing a Southern accent.
We had a lot of discussion about this, not doing anything or doing something that was really heavy.
We actually tried out reading the entire screenplay in different accents and characterizations.
So how did you settle on Forrest Gump, on the stance, the voice, the whole kind of bearing?
In casting of the young Forrest had a particular dilemma in which Bob says, what do you think we should do? And I don't know where it came, but we realized that, Bob, you will never get a kid in order to recreate something that I come up with, theoretically. What has to happen here, I think, is you've got to cast a kid, and then I follow where that kid goes.
I mean, I'm no fabulous linguist, so I was trying to soft pedal it as much as possible and was really lost until Michael was cast as young Forrest, and that was it.
You can sit here if you want. Well, are you going to sit down or aren't you? What's wrong with your legs?
Oh, nothing at all, thank you. My legs are just fine and dandy.
Then why do you have those shoes on?
My mama says my back's crooked like a question mark. These are going to make me as straight as an arrow. They're my magic shoes.
Are you stupid or something?
Mama says stupid as stupid does.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Forrest Gump.
He had this way of speaking that I would engage him in conversations with a tape recorder. And we were just in the car, and I was saying, so Mike, what does your father do? And Michael said, my dad makes grease. I don't understand. Is grease something you make? Yes. He says, what do you do with grease? Well, grease goes into all different sorts of products. And I said, well, like what products? Oh, grease goes into lipsticks. So taking him and everything that came out of Forrest was based on him. It all came from little Michael Humphreys.
The report for this audition showed up on the 7 o'clock news one night. My parents heard about it, and they asked me if I wanted to go to an audition and, try out for a movie, and just for fun, I was like, yeah, let's go do it.
You see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids, and then one of them just grabs onto you. Of course, then we're terrified because here's someone who's never been in front of a camera before, and so we put him through a pretty extensive screen test to see if he wasn't gonna crack under pressure.
And action.
Mama always says that God watches out for little children.
I pray to him every night, but I don't believe he listens to me.
You have to believe in God, Jenny.
Hey!
Just ignore them.
What does ignore mean?
Just don't pay any attention.
I never pay any attention to anything.
Hey!
Run, Forrest. Run, Forrest, run.
We were just flabbergasted. I mean, it was so real and so unique. Everybody was so enamored with what they saw that we finally had found our young guy, and production could go on as we planned.
Me and Tom Hanks spent a lot of time together. I guess he was trying to feed off of me and, get an idea for the Forrest Gump character. Well, I was a natural Southern kid to begin with. I was kind of quirky, already kind of fit the young Forrest role. And really, in the end, it was just me exaggerating myself to display that.
Is he stupid? What does his mom say about being stupid?
Stupid as stupid does.
See?
I got to see the movie for the first time when I was 9 years old, when it came out in '94. I had no idea what to expect. I'd imagined it over and over and over again, wondering what it would be like. It was a pretty striking movie for me at 9 years old. Having had the experience with Forrest Gump, I think I'd really much rather be a kid. Being 9 years old, I just wanted to be out with my friends playing. I wasn't, horribly interested in going back out to California and just doing audition after audition.
Michael Humphreys, who, by the way, is now serving in Iraq. He is now in the military, serving in Iraq.
I was in the Army years ago, did a tour in Iraq, right? Short period of time, 3 to 4 years. So basically I went through my childhood and teenage years where that's what I got introduced as everywhere I went. Hey, this is the kid that was in Forrest Gump. I always thought that people were expecting something more of me because they're like, oh, hey, this is you, that's really cool, let's hear the story, and then now what? Because I was just a regular kid and never tried to be more than that, there was never a follow-up. So when I turned 18, 19, 9/11 had happened, right? A couple years before that. I had toyed with the idea of being in the military, but I had never really considered it until there was a war going on in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I found myself very compelled to join the Army.
I feel like there was a duty to go do it because it's just part of being the citizen of a country. That's what you got to do. I'm very proud of having been in the military. I've actually put that ahead of having been in Forrest Gump as far as a significant thing I've done with my life.
What would you say to the audience why they shouldn't have missed Forrest Gump?
I think because more than anything, we today as a society need good, positive vibrations of what we were all born with. And just to know that we all still have it and we all feel the same thing, which is that kind of goodness in everybody. It's all there, you know, and Forrest just sort of symbolizes it in the biggest way.
So Forrest Gump, who, rightly or wrongly, is nearly always one of the first film titles that is associated.
Yeah. Elevator rides with people. Oh, I can't believe Forrest Gump's in the same elevator as I am. Yeah, I get it. It's worthwhile.
I have not seen you since you won your Oscar for Philadelphia, but no surprise to me. No surprise to me that you won. I would like to suggest that there will be another Oscar nomination for Forrest Gump.
Of the many stunning performances last year, here are the 5 nominated for Best Performance in a Leading Role. Morgan Freeman in The Shawshank Redemption, Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, Nigel Hawthorne in The Madness of King George, Paul Newman in Nobody's Fool, John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, and the Oscar goes to Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump.
What, Daddy?
Nothing. I think you read the book really good.
Is that what I'm supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Oh, that's right.
No, I just wanted to tell you that I love you.
I love you too, Daddy.